Welcome back to Partners². It's been a while, everybody. We needed a well-needed vacation this time, as you can tell by Lisa's awesome shirt, which she's very proud of. She gets some inspiration in the mountains, so which leads into what we're doing today. Today we're talking about idea generation. So we both have different skill sets, as you know. Like, I'm more of a technical background, and she is the designer slash, I don't know what, guru, whatever you want to be. Lisa makes up a new name all the time.
No, I don't. You do.
Okay, anyway. So, like, things like branding. Like, I don't have personally anything to do with it. Like, nothing. Like, yeah, she'll show me, but I am not generating any of those ideas. Like, zero, zip, none of them. So Lisa, how do you come up with your branding ideas?
What are we talking branding ideas, Shane?
Well, like when someone comes in, needs a new logo, and they're starting a new company up, and they want to be able to have everything match so that it is a consistent brand representation for their new company.
Well, we start off with what we like to call the discovery meeting. So that's when we talk to them and, learn more about their company, because they know their company better than we do, and find out what represents them. And a lot of times during those conversations, we'll be able to find out what kind of colors they like, what colors that they feel represent their business because of the type of service that they provide. And then we actually like to look at their competition to see what they're doing too. And then from there, what happens is I take all that information and I sit there and I honestly go old school, and I just start sketching out logos and ideas in my sketchbook. And then from there, it'll move from that onto using Illustrator, and that's where I'll develop the actual logo itself, find the fonts that I feel represent it, try to take the input what we had from the client regarding colors, because no matter what you feel should be the color for the business, the client is always right at the end, and they have a picture in their head of what kind of colors that they want. And yeah, sometimes you may not agree with it, but you have to understand, like, that's their business and they want it represented a certain way too.
Yeah, certain colors are important to them. Certain ways that certain elements within the logo is important to them. So it's like a very fine balance, trying to find that brand that represents them, and on top of it, trying not to look like anyone else and being unique, and also making the client happy with what they expect their brand to be too. So from the logo, we go and we'll start, maybe it's a print, maybe they want a brochure, and then from there, business cards. So everything will represent using fonts, all the same fonts, all the same colors, and using the logo elements throughout, so that it's a cohesive brand from website to business card, and that people recognize it right away. A lot of people we've been seeing a lot of landscaping companies where their brand is all over their trucks, and that's really important to make sure your brand represents you on a business card, but it can also represent you on a truck or a website. So a shirt,
a hat. So it's really super important that a lot of people these days like to think that they can do it themselves, which we've had a lot of scenarios where we've come in after the fact and
have to save the day or fix it.
Save the day, or basically what will happen is initially the brand was good enough, and now they're getting well-established clientele, and they're like, we just don't look the part. So we have a lot of that.
We're dealing with one right now.
Yeah, so we're potentially dealing with one right now that it's very similar. Like, they were able to get a website up so that they have a website presence, but they're realizing very quickly that if they want
bigger clients, they're not going to, the way that the branding is set up now isn't conducive to having a big client. Like, they don't look the part.
And they can't manage it anymore. They just don't have the time or the mental space.
Yeah, because, a lot of people don't realize, and us included, like, a lot of people are the tech end of, like, I would say the technologist, who is the person that's doing the work physically. And we work with a lot of small businesses, so they're doing most of the work themselves, and it takes them a while to realize you can't do it all and you need to go to the experts too. And it's actually in your best interest, because you should be doing what you're good at and we do what we're good at, kind of thing.
Okay, now we're going to bring the partner part of it in.
Okay.
So, do we always stay in our lane is the basically the thing. When we generate ideas, do we stay in our lane?
I'm going to take this. I'm 100% the bossy one, so no, I don't stay in my lane.
She never stays in her lane. I stay in my lane for the most part, but if I see something that, because I'm detail oriented, like, I did a lot of Q&A in my former life, so I see things that she doesn't see. Like, it'll be things not looking right or off a little bit. I will definitely jump out of my lane and be like, okay, this just doesn't make sense for this client, or this needs to be moved. It happens sometimes. Come on.
Okay.
It's not very often.
Continue.
She doesn't like admitting when she was wrong, but neither do I. So it's cool.
Continue.
And lastly, we're just going to do a quick one. Do you always agree on the idea?
It's hard. It's hard because when it comes to the idea, it's we have our strengths.
Not necessarily all branding. So.
Yeah. When it comes to the idea, like. When it comes to strategic thinking and, like, I would say the creative side of me, that's me. And, Shane's a big thinker, and he likes to come up with big ideas, but I find, and this is where we differ, he'll come up with potentially the big idea, but he's unable to, like, make that big idea grow and actually do eat all the different pieces to it. So that's where I'll come in and I'll strategically be like, okay, these are the steps we need to actually get that big idea to work.
I have zero idea on the steps. Zero. I will fully admit right here. See, it's on camera. None. Zero. I can come up with, like, crazy ideas. At least I go, wow, that's an awesome idea, but how do we get there? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I literally make that noise, and I have no clue how we're going to get from point A to point B.
Yep.
She figures out 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, and we go from there.
That's what you get. Like, back in the day, I was a art director directing a entire studio, so you learn pretty quick how to deal with different personalities and how to get the shiznaz done.
Well, that is all for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for future episodes coming soon.
Yes, coming soon. And maybe more t-shirts and brewing companies that Lisa went to visit while in Alberta. And
I'm wearing one of our favorite bands right here.
We don't care about your t-shirt.
Yeah, it's the hip though. Come on.
And no one cares about your t-shirt because we're talking about Banff National Park. Please go.
I don't know, but Tragically Hip are pretty iconic Canadian,
I don't know. It's Banff National Park.
It was beautiful. It was very beautiful.
It bears.
Yeah, so many bears.
So many bears. And so many great craft breweries. Shout out to Mount Bigby in Revelstone, BC.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Staring at some mountains while drinking beer. It's like my dream come true.
Yeah. So we'll talk to you guys later.
Peace out.